You've always called it love. The way your dog squeezes between you and your partner on the couch. The soft paw that lands on your arm the second you reach for another dog. The long, still stare from across the room when a friend leans in for a hug. You read all of it as devotion. And you're not wrong. But underneath that devotion is something older, something your dog has been telling you for years. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Every time someone sits down beside you, your dog appears. Every time you hold another dog at the park, yours pushes in. Every time you're on a call, a paw finds your knee. You always thought this was just your dog being a little clingy, a little sweet. Here's what most people don't realize. There's a quieter signal hiding inside these moments, and almost no one ever explains what it actually is. Not because you missed it, because nobody ever showed you what to look for. So stay with me until number 5, because what your dog's jealousy reveals about how deeply they've bonded to you is the one thing most owners go their whole lives without ever understanding. Start with the one you've definitely seen. A guest sits down beside you, and within seconds, a warm, solid weight slides onto your lap or wedges into the gap between you. You think your dog wants to cuddle. You think they're being affectionate. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog isn't moving toward you. They're moving against whoever else has your attention. A 2014 study from the University of California, San Diego, published in the journal PLoS 1, tested this directly. When owners showed affection to a realistic toy dog, close to a third of the dogs physically moved to get between their owner and that rival. Researchers who study canine behavior call this interposition, using the body as a quiet barrier. It is one of the oldest ways a dog protects a bond it doesn't want to share. So the next time your dog slides into that gap, remember, that isn't a cuddle, that's a claim. And the thing they're claiming is you. You know the paw. It lands on your forearm, gentle and insistent, and you melt a little. Pet me, it seems to say. I love you. But think about that for a second. Think about when the paw shows up. It almost never lands while you're scrolling your phone in peace. It lands the instant your hand reaches for another dog. In that same 2014 study, dogs nudged or pushed their owner far more often when affection went to a rival than when their owner was simply busy with an object. The paw isn't a request for love. It's a redirection, a small, soft attempt to steer your hands back where they belong. This is where most owners get it wrong. They think the timing is a coincidence. It isn't. Your dog is reading the room, and they have decided the room belongs to them. So the next time that paw lands, notice what your other hand was doing. Your dog already did. Here's where it gets even more powerful. You leave the room, and your dog falls apart at the door, scratching, whining, pressing their nose to the gap. You assume they simply miss you, and sometimes that's all it is. But sometimes you can hear what set them off. You're in the next room, greeting another dog, and the door between you starts taking a beating. Your dog can't see a thing, and they're reacting anyway. A 2021 study from the University of Auckland, published in the journal Psychological Science, is the one that proves why this matters. Researchers placed a barrier between dogs and a fake rival. When the owner appeared to pet that hidden dog, the dog pulled hard toward it, but barely reacted when the hidden object was just a roll of fleece. It was the first real evidence that a dog can hold a picture in its mind of you, with someone else, when it can't see either of you. Sit with that for a moment. Your dog doesn't need to witness the rival. They can imagine them. Behind a closed door, in a quiet house, your dog is running the scene without you. And hey, if this makes sense to you, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more dog lovers who actually want to understand what their dog is really saying. This one is easy to miss because it looks calm. You hug a friend, and across the room, your dog goes still. Not relaxed, still. The other kind. The body locks, the mouth closes, the eyes track you sideways, and don't let go. Most owners read this as their dog being mellow or being a loyal little guard. Here's what's actually happening. That stillness is an early signal, and it isn't aimed at a threat. It's aimed at a person your dog has quietly filed as competition. Behavioral scientists describe a dog guarding a valued partner, the same way it might guard food or a favorite toy. In those 2014 trials, the sharper reactions showed up specifically when a rival was involved. The freeze is the soft rung at the bottom of that same ladder, the warning before there's anything to warn about. So the next time your dog goes very, very still while you hold someone else, understand what you're seeing. They're not protecting you from that person. They're keeping you for themselves. This is the one I asked you to stay for. Somewhere along the way, someone probably told you that a jealous dog is an insecure dog, a behavior problem, something to train out. And I want to gently turn that all the way around. Jealousy can only exist where a bond already exists. You cannot feel the fear of losing something you were never holding. So your dog's jealousy isn't the opposite of love. It's love with something to lose. Both the San Diego team and the Auckland team land in the same place. Jealousy most likely evolved for one reason: to protect a valuable social bond from anyone who might come between. And the attachment underneath it runs on oxytocin, the same bonding chemistry that ties a parent to a child. The Auckland researchers said it plainly. A dog reacting to a rival looks a great deal like a child watching their parent turn toward another child. Here's what makes this even more meaningful. The guarding only ever happens over you, not the neighbor, not the dog sitter. You, the one whose footsteps your dog has learned, the one whose return they reorganize their whole day around. They don't guard what they can take or leave. They guard the thing they can't live without. Let's lift the mood for a second, because jealousy isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's hilarious. You start petting a visiting dog, and out of nowhere, your dog trots over and drops a slobbery, squeaky toy right in your lap. Full eye contact. Tail going. The salesman of the year. You think they want to play. What's actually happening is a counteroffer. Your dog can't say the words, "choose me," so they hand you the best thing they own and hope it closes the deal. Animal cognition research and owner surveys both point in the same direction. The large majority of dogs put on some kind of attention-seeking display when the spotlight drifts somewhere else. The toy is just your dog's favorite negotiating tactic. So the next time a tennis ball lands in your lap at the worst possible moment, you'll know. That's not playtime, that's a bid. And here's the last one, the one that ties it all together. The guest finally leaves. The other dog goes home. The house goes quiet, and your dog crosses the room, presses their whole weight into your side, and lets out a long, heavy sigh. You assume they were tired all along, but notice when the deep settle arrives. It comes after the rival is gone. After the bond feels safe again, the same attachment system that switched the guarding on is the one that finally signals all clear. When your dog senses that their place beside you is no longer in question, the tension drains out of them and they can rest against you completely. The guarding and the settling are not two different dogs. They're two ends of the same love. So the next time your dog melts into you after a long evening with company, listen to that sigh. The jealousy was never about the other dog. It was about how much you mean. You've always called it love. And every quiet thing you thought no one noticed, the body sliding into the gap, the paw, the long stare from across the room, your dog noticed it first, in you. So the jealousy isn't a flaw in the bond. It is the bond, turned protective. It's what your dog's love looks like when they're afraid of being shared. And if you're the kind of person who wants to keep seeing your dog this clearly, the real reason, not the easy one, stay with us. That's exactly who we make these for. So tonight, when they push their way between you and the couch cushion and let out that heavy sigh, you'll know exactly what it means. You always called it love. Now you know you were right all along.